Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, in an address on Friday, said that his country had been left to fight Russia on its own after a full-scale invasion was launched on Thursday. The president noted that the attacks had killed over 130 Ukrainians in the first day and asked for help from world leaders. Hmm. We have been left alone to defend our state, the president said in a video address. Who is ready to fight alongside us? I don't see anyone who is ready to give Ukraine a guarantee of NATO membership. Everyone is afraid. On Thursday, Russian President Putin began invading Ukraine, threatening any country trying to interfere with consequences you have never seen. Ooh. Russia unleashed airstrikes on Ukrainian cities and military bases, as well as sending in troops and tanks from three sides. Ukrainian and US officials noted Russian forces attacking from the east toward Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, from the southern region of Crimea, which Russia annexed in 2014, and from Belarus to the north. Ukraine officials said they had lost control of the decommissioned power plant, scene of the world's worst nuclear disaster. The Antonov International Airport, just outside of Kyiv in Ukraine, had also been taken over by the Russian forces. US President Joe Biden had announced sanctions against Russia, saying Mr. Putin chose the war, or this war, and that his country would bear the consequences. The sanctions will target Russian banks, oligarchs, state-controlled companies, and high-tech sectors. Now, wow, that the world power is afraid. But some people are saying that, that all this noise being made by Putin, that he's not going to, that he's going to hear it later. But as soon as the man issued a threat, because from the statements of this Ukraine president, and he's saying that they have been abandoned to face Russia alone. Who is going to help them? That the world powers are afraid. Well, America is the best position, or is in the best position to take on Russia. America has the military might to stop Russia. Putin will continue to dare NATO until an all-out war breaks out. The earlier America gets military involved in this war, the better and safer for the entire world. Putin will never stop until he stops. Somebody has to stop him, and only the US can do that. Oh, well, it is better. It is bitter. Bitter lesson you have to learn. Someone is suggesting that they should go and negotiate with Putin now. They have finally deceived you. Strangers telling you to fight your neighbor. Now they abandon you to suffer alone. Humble yourself and negotiate with Putin for the sake of innocent citizens. The world powers never planned any immediate help for Ukraine. They have finally left this young man helpless before a dictator that even the whole Western world fears and afraid of. Hey, no country is willing to go into a war now. Countries are just recovering from the financial and human losses that COVID-19 brought on them. That was a huge battle war. An international war between countries will compound the problem. No country is willing to lose its men in combat. Russia is a world power military. You don't just engage them in combat without proper planning. No chief of the army will agree to go to war without proper planning. In addition, the West, including America, just came out of Afghanistan. They won't want to plunge their country into another long war. You can negotiate with Russia, but you will never be fully independent again. Hey, Russia will draw lines for you. That's international politics for you. What you see on various news channels are not always the reality. The fact is that most countries, including the so-called superpowers, will never trade their cherished and mutual relationship with Moscow because of Ukraine. Ukrainians should know that they are alone on this and quickly negotiate with Moscow. You just proved to me that you are a real comedian. You should not be president in the first place. Trusting US and UK was the biggest mistake of your life. They are fake, only powerful in Africa. You don't even read, go and study what happened in Libya, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Biafra. US and UK rules. You will never trust these evil countries. They are not scared, but they have conscience because many lives will be lost, resulting to world war. Buhari is coming to defend you. I know by now that Buhari has sent over 1 million soldiers to go and commence burning down shops and houses in Russia like they do in Southeast. Putin must surrender to the might of Buhari, inshallah. What were you expecting? Keep listening to Biden. Surrender and save your people. Apostle Suleiman is with you. He has vowed to command Russia to stop invading your country. We all ask and pray for peace. You should have respected the Minsk agreements and save your country from Putin till he leaves office, and in the near future you get a more liberal president in Russia and you renegotiate from the point of strength and not from the point of weakness. Lesson learned. No country will just endanger the life of its citizens just like that for your sake. The love of nations hasn't reached that level at all. Hey, this is a lesson for all who think they can start a war and expect world powers to come and help them fight. If you don't understand, there is what is called sovereignty. My advice is for you to go back to diplomacy with Putin. They are not only scared but deceitful. They might have lured you into this confrontation only to abandon you. Better accept defeat now and learn your lesson. The earlier the better. Ukraine and Russia were once USSR and closer than the West. Do the needful and resolve the issue with a dialogue. Russia don't want the expansion of NATO to their borders. The United States won't help you. Save your citizens. America has no plan to fight Russia for Ukraine. They obviously want Putin to continue his aggression so they can easily cut them off from the Europe with sanctions. Whosoever is near the Ukrainian president, I understand, is in full combat gear, trying to speak Putinian language. Tell him this. Organize your warplanes targeting your so-called war powers. Warn them that you are hitting them in less than an hour to avert human casualties there. Then hit them all. Immediately you accomplish that. Invite them, including Russia, for peace. Really? Just like that? Does it work like that? We assure you, the good people of Ukraine, to go on their various business and activities and be law-abiding. While we proceed with our investigation, we will surely get to the roots of this matter. Okay, this one is mimicking Buhari. I don't know what they gave or promised you to allow enmity between Ukraine and Russia. Western powers want to rule everywhere, but Russia sees that and say no by standing tall. The fact that you are Western powers, that the Western powers cannot get past Russia, is the reason they are mad at Putin. I only fear for the innocent people at the receiving end, honestly. So guys, what do you think at this junction? Because it is really dicey.